Hi, I'm Gillian and welcome to the show. I offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own ascension path. This show is for the rebel souls that challenge the status quo, those that crave authenticity in every single aspect of their lives, that desire to embrace their uniqueness, follow their passions, connect to their soul, and live according to who they truly are, even if that means having the courage to go against the grain or the norms of society. If that's you, my spiritual soul seeker, rebel warrior, then this is the place for you. On this podcast, we speak about everything from spirituality, sexuality, conscious relationships, business, and literally everything in between. So if that's your jam, then stay tuned. And go on, be a rebel and subscribe. You know you want to. If you're dating or intend to date a spiritual woman or man, or person in between, never mind a healer, you gotta listen up now. This conversation is a two-way street. So this is gonna be for the people that are dating or intend to date a spiritual person or a healer, and also for the spiritual person or the healer themselves. Because this is invaluable stuff, guys. Like, these are the things you really need to know. And this comes a lot from my own personal experience as being a spiritual healer and dating. And I really want to let you guys know what you need to look out for. Like, if you've been drawn to date a spiritual or healer, like a spiritual person or a healer, then there's a reason for it. Like, there's no coincidences in life. Like, we have created contracts with each other in each lifetime as a soul to grow. So if you are dating or you intend to date someone that is spiritual or is a healer, then there's a reason for that. Like, your soul has asked for another level of growth. And there ultimately is a choice that you make when you enter any kind of communication or relationship with a spiritual person or a healer, that is, you evolve or you stay stuck. Like, and that ultimately is the true routes that you can go down. You have the opportunity to make the choices to grow with that person, because if you're dating a spiritual person or a healer, then their trajectory is constant growth, is all about constant evolution. And these are the things that might get you unstuck when you start to date someone that is spiritual, that when you start to date someone that is a healer or a psychic or does something like this for a profession. Because guys, you're gonna be triggered AF. A spiritual person or a healer will just by nature, from their energy, trigger the shit out of you. And not doing it in a meaning way. It just happens because of their energy and their aura and the amount of work that they've done on themselves. Sometimes, most of the time, a lot of the time, if you haven't done that level of work on yourself, then they will be a mirror for the places that you still need to heal. And that could be really triggering for a lot of people, because sometimes we don't want to look at the things that aren't working in our lives. We don't want to look at those behaviors, those patterns, those unhealthy things that are keeping us in low vibration, because if we did, we would have looked at it already, right? So by just even being in this person's energy, one, it can be extremely healing, but two, it can trigger you to see where you are maybe out of alignment with yourself and out of alignment with what you truly want, because their energy is that. So, like, be prepared, guys, to be triggered. But I also want to preface, like, this triggering is not a bad thing. Like, people seem to think that being triggered is such a bad thing, and it's really not. It's all about perspective. So if you've been triggered or emotionally triggered by the person that you're dating that is a spiritual person or a healer, then I want you to look at that as a positive thing, because it's showing you the places that you need to grow. It's like illuminating the aspects of yourself that are not in alignment with your true self, with your soul, with your highest evolution and your growth. So don't look at it as like, oh my God, this is such a huge negative thing. It's not. It's like, wow, what a gift, what an opportunity that I have seen the places that I still need to heal and that aren't working for me anymore. And this could be a trigger through the level of emotional communication and honest communication that this spiritual person has. Because most people cannot communicate in the manner that someone that's done a decent level of work on themselves or that are actually a healer themselves has. Like, these people have a level of communication that leans into emotionality that most people are so terrified of. That most people are afraid of that level of intimacy, that it can be extremely confronting for someone to be communicated to in such a way that like they're just not used to. Like, another thing that could be extremely triggering to someone who is dating a spiritual person or a healer is that person's boundaries. Because guys, if you are a healer worth your salt, then you have strong boundaries. Yes, you're extremely compassionate. Yes, you're extremely loving. Yes, you are extremely giving and understanding. But you also have extremely strong boundaries and high standards for yourself. Like, you haven't done that amount of healing work on yourself. You haven't like stepped over the coals of trauma in your life to get to a place where you are now a healer in whatever fashion that looks like for you, by not building strong boundaries. And for most healers, like, actually boundaries is a huge thing that you've worked on, because what becomes our truest strength and our power often is our biggest weakness and our challenge. So if you've come to that place as a spiritual person, as a healer, you've done a lot of work on yourself and a lot of work to know that know your value and know your worth. And therefore that can also come with high expectations. Like, and this is potentially the confusing thing for a lot of people that would want to date you as a spiritual person or a healer, is that you might think that person is so empathic and so understanding. And yes, absolutely, whilst you are, you also have a strong cutoff game, because you know what you deserve and you know what you like, your level of value. And if someone doesn't respect that, then you have very high boundaries that is respecting yourself. And you've probably gone through many relationships where that has been tested and tested and tested. So if you've got to a place where your boundaries are so strong that you're like, whilst I'm understanding and whilst I'm compassionate and whilst I will absolutely listen to everything that is happening and, you know, have a really good level of communication with someone, ultimately if someone isn't treating you the way that you deserve to be treated and with the respect that you deserve, then you have high boundaries and you won't stand for anything but being treated like the friggin' queen king that you are, because you know your worth. And that comes with healing. That comes with time. That comes with dedicating yourself to becoming the most authentic and best version of yourself, and healing those insecurities, those traumas, those levels of self-doubt, those fear. And to know that you have so much love in yourself that if that's not reflected and reciprocated, then your boundaries are up, right? And this can be very, again, polarizing and shocking for someone that's trying to date you, because they're just like, whoa, what the hell? What happened? This person that I thought was extremely empathic, potentially I can walk all over. And again, guys, many times I know you've been in relationships like that before, where it's been manipulative, or your level of compassion and empathy has made you fall for the wrong people that would take advantage of you. And you get to a point where you're like, no, thank you, that's not going to happen. And I guess going hand in hand with the boundaries is having high expectations for one, yourself, and ultimately the people that are the closest to you, especially the person that you're dating, because there is nobody that is going to impact your emotions, your energy, and your mental stability than the person that you are dating, or the person that you are in love with, the person that you're in an intimate relationship with. There is nobody that can do that more than this person. So if you are dating a spiritual person, if you're dating a healer, then you need to really be aware that they'll have a very strict lifestyle and certain practices that you need to be really open to, and you need to be very understanding of, because it takes a lot of work and energetic hygiene and protection. And for the most part, again, if you are a healer or a spiritual person, worth your salt, then you will have done so much work to let go of any negative things, any negative habits, addictions, people, anything that's toxic in your life. You will more than likely have got rid of that. So you have very high expectations for how you live your life. And ultimately, you also would have high expectations for the person that you're in a relationship with to also adhere to that. Because, again, as I said, there's no one that will impact you and your energy as much as the person that you're intimate with. So, having strong expectations around how you show up, your practices, what you consume or indulge in, is something that, again, can be quite triggering and polarizing to someone that doesn't align with that, right? Like, that is still within their toxic negativity or their unhealthy patterns, or where they're not respecting themselves. Like, that can be very triggering, because then they see you who are doing all of these like healthy practices and your meditation and potentially not drinking and, being very mindful and intentional about where you are, what you consume, where your energy goes, etc. And again, that could be amazing for someone, but that could also be very triggering and polarizing for someone else. So like I said, it's like, if you have had the privilege of meeting a spiritual person and a healer, then it can be truly catalytic for you. And these meetings are destined in a lot of cases, because your soul has been asking for shifts. Your soul has been asking for change. And therefore you see someone that has potentially embodied that level of change that you want in your life. And again, it's going to be a mirror and an opportunity for you to make a choice if you want to stay and grow and evolve with that person, or if you want to stay stuck. Because that is honestly how I see dating or interactions going when you are dating a spiritual person or a healer. Like, it can go one of two ways. Either that person will evolve and choose growth. And it doesn't mean that you have to be on the exact same trajectory as that spiritual person that you're dating. It's not about that. It's just about making a choice to heal yourself, to focus on growth, to understand having high boundaries and high expectations for yourself is like your God, right? And ultimately just to show you where potentially you haven't been doing that in the past. So again, it is like this crossroads of, using your triggers as opportunities for your highest expansion, and allowing them to guide you in your life. But I have also seen experiences where someone will date a spiritual person or a healer, and they will go the exact opposite way. And that is a choice that their soul makes. And that is the karma that then they have been delivered. Because I do honestly see, as I said, I see everything with like a higher perspective and spiritual lens. I feel like every connection is here to teach us something about ourselves. We're here to learn lessons. We are here to understand ourselves at a deeper level. We are here to get in touch with our true selves and our deeper level of spirituality, to access our own intuition. And sometimes we don't look at relationships like that. But if you are dating or want to date a spiritual person or a healer, then I think it's inevitable that you're gonna at some point start to look at your relationships like that, because you would never have manifested and attracted that person into your life if you were not ready for growth. Period. Like, there has to be a level of energetic congruency for you to have even attracted someone into your life that is already on their spiritual path or is already a healer. And the choice is, like, what do you choose? Do you choose growth, or do you choose to stay stuck? So again, this is for all the spiritual people out there, the men, the women, the healers of the world, that are on their spiritual path, that have been doing the work, that are in relationship, that are dating. I want you to know that having strong boundaries, having high expectations for yourself and your partner, and having this beautiful growth mindset, and also fostering a level of self-love and self-worth is what you need to continue doing, because you are a shining beacon for those other people, that those souls that are ready to awaken, that are ready to take that journey either with you or without you. Like, we are all here to awaken each other to our truest nature, and there is no more place than you can do that in, rather than in romantic relationships. And if you are a person that is also on your journey, but you're dating a spiritual person or a healer, then this is just the things you guys have to be aware of, you know, when you're going into these relationships, when you're committing to these relationships, that you are going to be triggered. You're going to be triggered by so many things, but you have a choice to grow with that person and to see that as an opportunity for you to expand in ways and with someone that can hold you through that growth and that vulnerability more than anyone else can. Or you can choose to continue with your potential negative behaviors or limitations and stay stuck. Like, we all have a choice. So which one do you choose? I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you are awakening, if you are a spiritual person, if you are a healer and you want some more guidance in your life about your journey, your path, your purpose, your awakening, if you want to unlock your spiritual and soul gifts at a deeper level, if you know that you're here for greatness and you want to activate those, heal your relationships, and be of service to the world in whatever way that is unique to you, then you can work with me in many different ways. I have my one-on-one mentorship, I have my individual sessions, and my Rebel Psychic School, which is coming very, very soon, guys. I can't wait to tell you all about it. But if you are interested in becoming the most authentic version of yourself and trusting your own truth, connecting to your higher wisdom, your souls, your spirit guides, then this is a program for you. I would love to hear what you think of this. If you want to leave me a comment below, if you have any questions, please do. And all my other details will be in the show notes below. And I will see you guys later.